Okay, we're in lesson 7, and we're going to go over some of the lesson resources that are available in lesson 7. And this is what we're going to discuss each of these links, from tax brackets to Medicare to IRMAA, and even to a video that you might want to look at, and also a Google spreadsheet that was prepared that can help you calculate some of your Roth conversions that you would like to do. Okay, let's actually get into this. So our first link goes to the tax brackets, and it goes to the current one for 2026. And this is just to remind you, these are sort of the tax brackets that we're in for a single or individual filer versus married. And you could print these out as Excel, PDF, and so on. This is a nice organization that gives you some good tax information. So you may want to look at that. Our next one that we're going to go through is our Medicare. And this is what this lesson's all about, Medicare. And this is a .gov site, so it may contain pretty current information from the government. I just want you to scroll down to, you can see your Part B coverage. So our monthly premium will be $202.90. And it can also look at where the limits are in terms of income. So if you're filing individual returns, it's $109,000. If you're doing filing as a couple, it's $218,000. So you can see, as we showed before, your IRMAA or your premium charges will increase as your income increases. The next link goes to an insurance company where they publish on their website the IRMAA, and they describe what it is. And they also list the Part D expenses. So not only do you see Part B in the same table, but you can look at Part D, and you can see as your income goes up, so does your Part D premium. What I like about this is it does talk a little bit about appealing a IRMAA decision. If you had a life-altering event in a particular year that your IRMAA was based on, you may be able to appeal that. So you can look at what's here and also do a search for more information about appealing a IRMAA surcharge. What I like about this site, this is a calculator, and I find it very useful. And you could just put in, let's do individual. So if you're making less than $109,000, your premium will be $202.90. This is for 2026. And you will have, depending on your insurance plan, as we mentioned, you will have no premium on your Part D, your prescription. But watch what happens when it goes up. You can see your surcharges go up, and also your IRMAA for Part D will go up. And you can also use this for your joint. And you can see if your income was over $274, you did some Roth conversions, or you had some capital gains, you can see your premium could be, well, $405 a month, and your surcharge for Part D would be $37. So this is a useful, quick, and easy calculator to use. Also on this site, they're sort of promoting Medicare Advantage Part C, which we're not going to discuss. That's up to you to decide that. But they talk about IRMAA a little bit. What I like about their chart here is they show you that for 2026, this is your premium, but it's reminding you that it's based on your 2024 modified adjusted gross income. And that's that 2-year look back that we discussed. So that's a nice way, and it also shows you your Part D all in one chart. The next site was IRMAA Premium MAGI brackets present and future. This site, they actually tried to estimate what future IRMAA surcharge brackets will be. And that is a useful tool if you're doing major Roth conversions. Our 2027 IRMAA bracket, it's an estimate. And you can see we have 2 data points right now. Out of 11, they need 11 to get a full bracket, and this is based on your 2025 income. But this gives a good feel of where the direction of where IRMAA brackets are going. And what I like is they actually give you zero inflation. So they're assuming if there's zero inflation between these months, between December 2025 and August 2026, the IRMAA, this will be the IRMAA's things. So you can see for a single, it goes up to $111,000, where before it was $109,000. So you can see it goes up. And for married, it was $218,000. Now it's $222,000. So it does go up, it does increase. So if you're doing some major, significant Roth conversions and you know you're going to go into a higher bracket, this is one way to give you a feel of what it looks like in the future in terms of brackets. And in this video, I find this a very useful video. They do a nice job in explaining what is IRMAA, and they have all this information on like a chalkboard, and they go through each of the steps, and they kind of give you a more in-depth understanding of how IRMAA is determining and how it could affect your premiums in the future. So you may want to watch this video. So I went over the lesson resources and some links that you could look at. But when I'm also, in addition, I am adding some Google Sheets. And there's two ways you could look at this. This is view only, where you cannot edit these sheets. And if you like the sheet and you want to download it, if you have a Google account, you need a Google account, you could then make a copy of that and put that sheet into your Google Sheets account, and then you can modify it and do whatever you want with it. And if you have some suggestions to make it better, if you want me to try to improve on that, you could just add some comments in the YouTube area. But let's look at the Google Sheet. We're in view only in this case, but what I have here is for 2026. So I'm using the 2026 tax rate. You can see I just add these numbers right here. There is the brackets for 2026, and it immediately calculates the cumulative tax, so it just adds it up. And then down here is the Part B and Part D. This is a link to some of the resources that I used. And here are the MAGIs. So these numbers here you could change. Like if you're doing 2027, you could put new numbers in. But over here are the formulas that you don't want to really change, because once you change them, it's going to be hard to sort of get them back unless you really know Google Sheets really well. But let me show you a couple things. Okay, let's do taxes for year 2025. And as you know, the IRMAA surcharge will appear on 2027. So let's say this person has an income and RMDs and interest, everything of $190,000 a year. And this couple wants to convert $100,000 for Roth conversions. All right, so what would be their Part B and Part D charges? Well, their MAGI would be $290. So this chart over here does what's called a value lookup. So it finds where 290 will fall in, and then it would do, this number will be Part B. So up here would be, automatically is put in, would be Part B would be 416, it rounded up, and your Part D would be $38 a month. That's for one person. So for a couple, you multiply that by 2, then you add it up. So if your Medicare premiums and surcharges would be $10,879. All right. So let's say we had same person for $190,000. Instead of doing $100,000 Roth conversion, they worked on this chart and they figured out if I only do $85,000, my Part B would then be $284, and my Part D would be $15 a month, giving you a grand total of $7,166. So by doing $15,000 less in Roth conversions, you could save around $3,500 in Medicare premiums and surcharges. This is the value of using this chart. There are probably other charts out there to help you determine what's your best strategy in doing your Roth conversions.